How's it going, friends? Reckless Yuki here. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Thank you guys very much for checking out the video. I do greatly appreciate it. And the title of this video is going to be something along the lines of best mousepad for Mac gamers. And it's going to be slightly humorous because most people who bought a Mac didn't really buy it for gaming. And if you are on the Mac and you're trying to get into gaming, you're going to notice that the Steam library is very small compared to the PC library. That's kind of unfortunate, but you still have some games that you're able to play. And if you're interested in a mousepad that's able to still maintain the Mac aesthetics that you probably like, well, this video is definitely going to be for you because I have this, which is the enhanced GX-MP6. Now, before we get into the video, I want to make the disclaimer that I did not pay for this. This was sent out to me by the folks over at Enhanced to do a review on my channel. So I want to be as transparent as possible with you guys and ensure you that I'm going to give an unbiased review of this. They also sent me this, which is the GX-MP5. So I'll also be reviewing this, basically a 2-for-1er in this video. And when I do this review, basically, I want to try to just make it as short as possible. And the areas that I want to focus on is the speed of the mousepad, as well as the accuracy when it comes to sensor accuracy. How accurate can a sensor be with these two mousepads? And as far as speed, I didn't really do anything like a drop test where I put a board at a certain angle and like drop a mouse. I just basically had them kind of comparing with my Artisan Hayate to see what I like better. And I love the Artisan Hayate is my go-to mousepad when I do FPS games, and that's just my own personal preference. And when compared to the MP6, I felt that, you know, it did feel a little bit smoother. It might be a little bit faster than my Artisan Hayate, but it was very, very, very similar, and I didn't really notice that much of a difference. When compared to the MP5 definitely did feel a little bit faster. It definitely felt a little bit less control when you're trying to whip a mouse around. So if that's something that you're really into, you want less, like more speed, then the MP5 might be a go-getter. But the MP6 felt very similar to my Artisan Hayate. And if you're curious on how my Artisan Hayate compared to a lot of other popular mousepads, definitely check out the link in the description of the video. I'll put a video there as far as the mousepad review that I did, where I did an extensive mousepad over a lot of mousepads. Anyways, getting back into these, now that is the speed of it. So the MP5 is definitely faster than the MP6. MP6 is similar to my cloth Artisan, but the sensor is another thing that's very key when it comes to mousepads when you're trying to game, because you want to make sure that the sensor is able to stay accurate with the surface when you're whipping mouse around to ensure that every movement you do is registered to the PC or the Mac in this case. So what I basically did was I used my Myonix caster and I used the program, the Surface Analyzer tool, and I compared the surfaces of my Artisan Hayate with it, which is a 90% accuracy. And then the MP6 actually got about a 70% accuracy. And then the MP5 got about a 80% accuracy. So as far as surface accuracy, they're not as good as my Artisan, but they're still decent enough. I feel that the 70 for this, for the MP6, is sufficient enough. So for anyone out there just looking to casually game, especially on the Mac, if you're just wanting to casually game, then the MP6 is going to do just fine. And the MP5 is going to perform very well, especially if you are into the hard mouse pads. Now, those are the basic stats that I really look for when it comes to a mouse. And one of the things that you do have to be concerned with when it comes to a mouse pad is with a hard mouse pad, not so much like the thickness and the shape of the rubber surface on the bottom so it doesn't slip isn't really that important, because the mouse pad itself is hard, so it's not going to give very much deviation. But the thing you really, really want to be concerned with is you want to look at the mouse pad kind of like this, just to see where it kind of dips, if it has any dips or dents or dings, because that's going to absolutely, destroy your experience when it comes to a mouse pad. And when I received this one, the MP5, I noticed like right here, I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see it, maybe a little bit, but it has like a little dip in it. And as I'm running the mouse over this area, I kind of feel it dip and it throws off my aim. So that's something to be very concerned with. If you do buy a hard mouse pad, make sure you kind of go along it and ensure that it's completely flat, that there is no disc, because a dip is definitely going to affect your, your gaming surface. And as I'm going to show you guys again, I'm going to try to support this as best I can, but there's just basically just like a dip in this region here, which is something I noticed when I was kind of testing out the mouse pad and getting the feel for it. As far as the MP6 here, the MP6 doesn't have any dip that I'm able to notice. And when I was running around and messing with the aim, I didn't feel any sort of area that made me mess up the aim. So that's a good sign for the MP6. So anyways, that's my review of these two mouse pads. Let me know what you think in the comments below if this is something that you're interested in. Now, if you are a Mac gamer and you really are into the aesthetics, I think this is a fine mouse pad. But if you're interested in possibly some other mouse pads, definitely check out my video in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys again in the next video, all right? Bye.